focus, the key to success. Everyone wants to achieve success in whatever they do, be it a small, big, worldly, or a spiritual matter. In that case, what is the secret recipe for success? To keep it simple, Sri Swamiji would say the following points: 1. No job is big or small. 2. Understand and appreciate the bigger purpose of the job at hand and hence love it. 3. Do it with full dedication, and the result? That kind of job done will yield the best results. Let's see how to do the toughest amongst these, which is Shraddha or dedication. To do this, we need to have a single pointed focus. Focus on one thought. In one of the divine compositions of His Holiness Maharanyam Sri Sri Muralidhara Swamigal, he says, எண்ணமுன்றானால் கண்ணன் மகிழ்கின்றான். Lord Krishna is happy when all our thoughts become one, and such single pointed focus can be achieved by control of our mind. Join us as Bangalore Gopakutiram team discovers more about the mind, its features, and the various ways to control it. Shreya is a 10th grader. She hasn't performed up to her expectations in her recent mock test. The disappointed Shreya calls out to her friends so that they can meet and discuss on what the problems in her preparation could have been.
I do about 20 minutes of running every day and eat healthy food. I genuinely don't know what else could be the problem.
Maybe it's just distractions, not a problem with your body.
I keep the devices outside the room when I study.
No, not external ones. Maybe by your own mind, in your own thoughts.
What? Our own mind? How is that possible? I always thought distraction are caused by people, external noises, social media and much more.
Not really, because all the thoughts arise from the mind, right? Can we sit down for some time?
Yeah, sure.
Much better.
How do we control our mind then?
By training our mind, we can detach ourselves from these so-called distractions and enter into the flow state. This is where we can work with 100% efficiency without getting bored.
That's interesting. Wait, firstly, when we talk about the mind, what organ are we referring to? Is it the brain?
No, not really, because I have a different perspective on that. I don't think mind is an organ. Have you ever heard doctors doing an operation for the mind? No, right? Mental well-being is always considered as an important element in overall wellness. And I think this refers to the clarity and quality of thoughts that arise in our head each and every second.
Yes, I agree with you. I think mind is nothing but a cluster of thoughts. The more inflow of thoughts that we have, the more obstruction to our flow. So, if we reduce the inflow of thoughts, the better we get to focus.
That's interesting. But I don't understand how we can control something that physically doesn't exist. Isn't it out of our voluntary control?
It is, but it's like a naughty puppy when we first bring it home, right? At first, it will not listen to anything that we say. Yet, it slowly comes our way since it's trained. I think the mind is just another very naughty puppy.
That is true. But Faith, before we know more about the mind, we need to know about the behavior of the mind. Like the saying goes, know your enemy before the fight begins, then only you can win it successfully. Guys, I know a psychologist, Manasa ma'am, right? If you're all free now, we can go talk to her about this. I think she's the best person to tell us more on this.
Sure.
Hi ma'am, how are you?
Hi kids.
Hi mom.
Come in, sit down. What brings you all here?
Mom, we were talking about the mind and the many ways that we get distracted by it. We wanted to know more about the behavior of the mind and who could we come to when you're here. If you're free now, could you explain more on this?
Okay. So, the mind is a beautifully complex thing. But before we delve into its complex nature, let me ask you all a quick question. Can you all think and tell me what is the fastest form of transport?
It's air.
No, the telecommunications. You can call people across the world in seconds.
A good try, but not the right one. Can you all think of anything else? Okay, so imagine all of this. Now think of the room you're in right now. Think of the building, think of the city, Think of the state, the country, the many countries, the globe, the moon, stars, and the galaxy. Now, what do you all realize? Do you see that the mind hops from one place to another within just seconds? Right? That is because the mind is the fastest form of transport. This establishes the first feature of the mind, which is the mind oscillates. The number of thoughts one gets within just seconds is unbelievable, isn't it? Okay, Ravinandini, why don't you close your eyes for just a few seconds and count the number of thoughts you've had?
Okay, I'll try. I was thinking of so many random things. My mind was so unorganized and cluttered.
See, that's proof that the mind oscillates and it has so many thoughts coming in within just seconds. So Shreya, why don't you close your eyes and try and think of anything but a monkey?
Okay, let me try. I'm so sorry, but I was constantly indirectly thinking of a monkey.
See, that is the second feature of the mind. The mind does not obey to verbal command. The more you try and tell your mind not to think of something, the more tendency it has to think of that exact same thing.
In that case, how will you control your mind?
The best way to control the mind is through habit. Right? That is the third feature of the mind. The mind succumbs to habit. Now, why don't we go over to my place and continue this interesting conversation?
Sure, let's go.
Okay, so now that we're all here, let's get back to the mind. We now know that the mind succumbs to habit. Can one of you tell me, how does one build a strong habit?
By repeating a task over and over again, we form a habit.
Yes, but too tedious, isn't it? You all see someone play a song at the start of the day and the rest of the day you keep humming to the same tune.
It has happened with me so many times. I just feel the music sticks with me.
See, that's the power of music. So the easiest way to build a habit is through sound or music. Music or sound really just imprints itself in our subconscious mind and does not allow our mind to be cluttered with unnecessary thoughts.
What is the subconscious mind?
So the mind is of two parts, the conscious and the subconscious part. You all ever see your father both drive the car and speak on the phone at the same time?
Well, yes, I have seen my father. He does that most of the times.
Yes, this is because two parts of the brain are working, the conscious and the subconscious. How is he able to do it?
Maybe he's just really well experienced.
Yes, it's true. A well-experienced driver can do it. When a person has been driving the car for so many years, the skill of driving becomes a part of the subconscious, something we colloquially call as the muscle memory. So now I can say that the subconscious mind is helping your father drive the car and the conscious mind is helping him speak. You know, in order for your conscious mind to do a task very well, it is really critical for your subconscious mind to be free from unnecessary thoughts.
So that's what the song does. Paste itself to the subconscious to prevent other thoughts.
Yes, and now you're able to focus much better.
What? No. I've tried listening to music while solving questions. Rather than boosting my productivity, it distracts me even more.
Okay, so imagine this. Say there's an elephant, a small little one. This elephant keeps swaying its trunk in its playfulness. No matter how much the mother elephant tries to restrict it, it just doesn't seem to stop. So the fed up mother gives this baby elephant a large tree trunk to hold on to. Once the baby elephant holds on to this tree trunk, the swaying just automatically stops. That is how the mind is. When you give the mind something beautiful to hold on to, all the unnecessary cluttered thoughts will stop.
But ma'am, don't you think the song itself will act as a distraction?
Let me give you another illustration. Think of your apartment wall which is filled with so many random posters. Now, no matter how much you tell the people to stop putting these posters, nobody pays heed to your words, right? So what can you do? The best you can do is go ahead and paste a large beautiful poster yourself. This way, nobody will feel like spoiling it, right? That's how the subconscious is. When you give it something beautiful to hold on to, it'll stop from getting the random thoughts from coming in.
Can any song be played?
What better than the Mahamantra?
The Mahamantra, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This one?
Yes, the Mahamantra is the simplest and the most powerful form of prayer. It keeps you calm and gives you something to hold on to. The Mahamantra creates a sense of direction and deep focus.
Oh wow, that's so amazing. Thank you so much, ma'am.
This will be so useful for us. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Truly grateful, Mom. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
The summary of all that we have learned till now is the mind keeps oscillating. The mind never listens to verbal commands, but the ray of hope is that the mind succumbs to habit. If we create the habit of listening to the Mahamantra in the same tune and raga every day, it helps in maintaining the subconscious mind to remain uninterrupted. This helps us focus all our thoughts into one, that is, the present task at hand, and hence we will be able to succeed in all our endeavors. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Radhe Radhe.